Yo, what's up trainers, welcome back to a new video, and in today's video I'm gonna tell you grab some popcorn because these battles are insane. The Pokemon I'm showcasing today is basically going to be LITLEO, but also basically the whole team really. It's a really solid team. SKELEDIRGE has been in the meta now for a while, so we know what's capable of, and as a say swap it's really strong. VICTREEBEL in this meta with Vigoroth, Pokemons like that, LANTURN, just fits in very well, it fits in very good as well. And LITLEO is just, I think, one of the fewest mons that really resist the complete moveset of SKELEDIRGE. So if you see a SKELEDIRGE save swap, you can just reply with LITLEO, and it is just so strong. Easy game against those SKELEDIRGE. You don't have to use a shield in any scenario. Just go for those crunches at some point in that mid-game matchups in general. But besides that, LITLEO is going to, well, it's just going to shine this video. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And in this first match, we face up against a Dunsparce. Dunsparce is a real awkward Pokemon for this team, as it just can do very well against my whole team. As you can see here, I'm gonna let the first move go through, and then afterwards I will use a shield as I said. Dunsparce is a bit of an awkward mon, so I do want to make sure that we can get rid of this mon. We leave with a Sludge, so after this I'm just going to instantly save swap into that SKELEDIRGE. They have a SKELEDIRGE of their own, which is a bit unfortunate, so that's why I didn't save swap in this scenario. Basically, just because I have a really hard answer for the SKELEDIRGE here. So they get a nice energy lead there, which is, well, kind of okay, but still we're in a kind of awkward spot here. They have a team composition where, well, they can hit us for super effective damage obviously, but here, as you can see, these Incinerates actually do so much damage. My opponent is gonna go for a Scorching Sand. If they went for the Shadow Ball there, they would have KO'd, but they decided to go for the Scorching Sand, which is huge because now we will actually get to another Shadow Ball. They have to shield here, and there's just nothing they can hit us for. We can easily go for Flame Charges here. We win CP tie as well, which is huge, and then afterwards we're just going to ramp our attack by more and more. As you can see, they have to shield here. We don't, as we can just easily let this move go through. They go for Disarming Voice that just does absolutely nothing, and this is just going to be a GG. They have to go for a move here. We get the Incinerate through, as they well, they cannot there's no way they can make sure that that's not gonna happen, right? And we take them out. GG's. LITLEO once again shines. So next game we face up against a well, tough Pokemon on the lead, but we have those answers in the back, right? So we're just going to save swap instantly into that SKELEDIRGE. They reply with a Palossand, and this is super nice for us, as we can just easily go for a Shadow Ball here. But just look at the Incinerate damage in general. It's insane. We're doing so much, and we didn't even land a charge move yet, and they're already at 50% of HP after this next Incinerate has gone through. We can just go for another Disarming Voice at this point, as they're so low, and I don't need to well, build up to a Shadow Ball anymore. And here I'm okay with letting this move go through, as we've just gotten both shields in this scenario. I'm expecting them to have a SKELEDIRGE in the back right now, and I'm just gonna come in with my Razor Leaf user. Also the thought behind this team basically is to lure out a LANTURN, farm it down with VICTREEBEL, and then afterwards your what's it called, your LITLEO obviously can shine. As you can see, they have SKELEDIRGE and, well, the Venusaur right on the lead, so they're absolutely core broken by the LITLEO in the back, and that's just going to be a GG. We can go for another crunch here. My opponent doesn't know yet, but they will know it in a bit, as this crunch is gonna come through and they're gonna get taken out. GG's, very well played, and we hop on to the next game. Alrighty, next game we face up against a SKELEDIRGE. So obviously terrible lead, bit of an awkward lead to be honest as well. So I'm just gonna come in with my own SKELEDIRGE. So we are not in the best position right now, as we are on Incinerate behind, but my opponent actually decides to go for an extra, which is a bit of a mistake, because now I can, well, go for the move first, and then after this, after I've went for the move first, as you can see, I can always get that sneak back. So that's a bit of a misplay by my opponent. They should have went for the move instantly. Here I go for the move, off and we win CP tie. So now we're even on energy as well, which is huge, and we can actually just fire off these shadow balls. I'm gonna let this move go through probably, as I do have the LITLEO on the back, which is a really nice answer for their SKELEDIRGE, and they actually decided to bait, which is huge. Now, can we reach another shadow ball? If I want to, I can use a shield here and can flip switch, but I'm okay with letting this move go through. Was also hoping to survive that move, to be honest, but I felt like I couldn't, so I was gonna take that shield. So as you can see, I don't have the shield here. Also, the fact that they didn't swap out onto my SKELEDIRGE gives me a tell that they're probably really weak against my LITLEO. Here I didn't want them to reach another move, so I'm just gonna go for the flame charge. And now let's see what do they have in their back. It's actually going to be a Skarmory, so I can't imagine what they have in the back that's going to be weak against fire if they bring this in. And at this point, I feel like my opponent just stopped tapping, or maybe even forced just swipe their game upright, close their app. We take them out, and what do they have in the back as a final mon? It's going to be, show us today please. It's going to be the Snow. Look at that damage. That's going to be a GG. Very well played. But LITLEO in the back. But honestly, SKELEDIRGE just basically, well, screwed up their whole team, right? So, GG's. Alrighty, next game we pick up a horrible lead once again. And this time around they come in with a Obstagoon as a reply on my SKELEDIRGE. So, I'm feeling quite confident as I can easily flip this mid-game matchup. They go for a Night Slash and obviously they get the boost. It's not going to matter too much as these counters, well, they don't do anything to my SKELEDIRGE here. We can easily go for double Disarming Voice and take them out, but my opponent decides to go against it, and honestly, looking back at it, I might make a mistake here. At this point, I realize, well, actually at the point they take me out where I decide I'm gonna not no shield and go for 2 shield flex on there. At this point I realize, I think they have Vigoroth in the back, double counter backline. So I do have to preserve my VICTREEBEL here. They come in with their, what's it called, the steel type mon. I forgot the name for a second. And here, as you can see, they got the Vigoroth in the back, which is a bit unfortunate because even though these Incinerates do so much damage, I maybe should have went for it instantly, because looking back after this, as you can see, we will get one more Incinerate through. No, we won't. So although I do think that maybe if I went for it straight away, we might have, well, still be able to take out that Vigoroth. But now they still had the, I forgot the name for a second, but still the steel type right on the in the back. So there was no way of me winning that game anymore. But still, looking back at it, maybe if I went for a switch, I actually won that game. So that's a bit unfortunate, but still, GG's to my opponent there. So here, once again, we face up against a Dunsparce. So Dunsparce, as I said it before, is an awkward Pokemon for this team. The way I like to play this is just to go for one shield and then farm them all the way down. Even though it's not ideal, well, I think it's the best way to do so. Here they come in with a, I thought it was the Sableye. And obviously I have a nice response in it with the LITLEO. I wasn't really checking the Sableye, and at this point I realized, wait, I have to look a bit closer. They are not purified, so they're probably running Power Gem here, which they do. So I decided to shoot up, and now we get a full farm down. Their lead Pokemon is basically gone, so if they decide to come back in with that, I'm gonna go for one extra Incinerate, which is a misplay, I think, looking back at it right now, as they were not at a... as we were already at full energy there. They decided to shield here, so now I'm hoping to, well, maybe get out of there and try to get a catch here, but we unfortunately cannot. They're gonna go for, I think, the Rock Slide, or I think the Drill Run. They should have went for the Drill Run. That's better energy, a better damage move, I should say. Here they come in with a Trevenant, they're ahead on energy, and we make the catch. I stopped tapping there. I expected that to throw instantly, which they did, and we actually get it off. GG's, as we will now reach the Shadow Ball, and that was insane, as we were not in the position to win that game, but we actually get the catch. GG's, I waited a turn there, and we got it. GG's, said it again. Next game. Alrighty, in the next game we finally get a positive lead, or just a lead that's in our favor, due to the fact that the shields are still up. And due to the fact that shields are still up, I expect my opponent to throw instantly, as VICTREEBEL is a frail Pokemon. So that's the way of thinking there. We catch the Body Slam, which is huge, and now let's see what we bait out, the Lantern. So far so good. This is exactly how this team should be played, or how this team is, the thought process behind this team is lure out that that lantern. And as you can see, these shadow balls, but even these incinerates, they just do so much damage, even though it's going to be resisted, right? That shadow ball obviously won't be resisted, but still we get to another move and we actually get a shield from our opponent. So things are gonna go from well, not worse, but from better, to be honest. As you can see, we can easily come back in, farm them all the way down, hoping to farm them down before they reach double serve here, but unfortunately my opponent is already there. So I do have to use a shield here. I can also decide to let this move go through, but honestly I need to preserve this HP on my VICTREEBEL here. My opponent is going to reply with once again their Figurot, but now we actually outpace to the move, so we can go for this Sludge Bomb here. And if they're gonna shield, they're probably super weak against Razor Leaf in the back, right? So I feel like they are, as they decided to shield here, so I'm gonna shield as well. They go for a body slam, and then after this I'm actually gonna go for my switch as well. A bit late, but honestly I needed that Razor Leaf damage as well to get them as low where we can, well, probably get a nice crunch damage off, and then they will be still in a range where the Razor Leaves later on will be enough to KO. As the bodies or the counter damage from the Figurot is going to be resisted, we still have a nice amount of HP left on our Pokemon there. They need double serve here to basically get the win. They won't get there. We get the Incinerate down. We get to the Flame Charge as well, and they already top left it. GG's once again. LITLEO and VICTREEBEL just feels like an insane core right now, and it's just so much fun as LITLEO. It's a start. It's a first one, right? It's not evolved just yet, so that just makes it really cool. Once again, we face up against a against the Dunsparce, and since they straight away swapped, I know they have the another probably fire type Pokemon in the back. As you can see, they say swap into a SKELEDIRGE, and we have the best response of LITLEO in the back waiting for them. You can see just straight away we can go for these crunches. We actually get the defense drop and we win CMP tie as well. Big, this is so huge. We can go for another crunch here as they decided to shield once again, and here I'm feeling like I need to shield really, because even though we're gonna get taken out here, even though we have 2 shields against our opponent, I don't want to come in with my SKELEDIRGE, lose CMP and then lose 2 shields as well, something like that. So that's why I went for the 1 shield, go for the crunch, and we take them out in the back, or they come in with their Dunsparce once again. So I'm gonna come in with my VICTREEBEL as well. As we have seen before, I can easily tank 1 move. 1 shield is enough to basically take out this Dunsparce because they will reach another move here. So yeah, I'm just gonna use 1 shield here and then farm them all the way down if I can. I actually decided not to. I'm just gonna sacrifice my VICTREEBEL here as they decided to hard swap. That's the better play. They got the Peloscent in the back. Honestly, the fact that they hard swapped, well, sort of made sense, but doesn't really, as they have a Peloscent in the back, and obviously these Razor Leaves would have done super effective damage. So since we have a shield up now, I can easily go for 1 Incinerate or O-Farm by 1 Incinerate, reach the Disarming Voice here, and we actually take them out, and that's going to be a GG. Very well played once again. And yeah, this team just really worked out for me today, and it was also so much fun. Once again, another Dunsparce Leech. Would you believe it? Well, it's getting a bit boring right now, but we know how we're gonna play this lead matchup, right? We're just gonna go for, well, 1 shield, farm them all the way down, and then let's see what they reply with after that. What's gonna be their next Pokemon? So my opponent actually decides to swap into their SKELEDIRGE once again. So this feels like the same team as we just played, and we got the best answer of LITLEO in the back waiting for them. So we don't have to use a shield or anything like that. They go for the Disarming Voice, which is fine. And now we're gonna go for the crunch. Crunch is going to be enough to just take them out if I'm not mistaken. But if it's not going to be enough, it's not. We still get the farm down, which is huge. So we will leave with a move. They will get even less energy, which is perfectly fine for me. I think they will get like 1 or 2 what's it called, rollouts, but actually they decide to come in with their final Pokemon, which is fine for me as well, because now I can align my VICTREEBEL to this Peloscent and look at the Razor Leaf damage. I said it before, I said it again, this core works so good together today for me. And as you can see, they go for the Scorching Sand here, which is fine. Now they swap into that Dunsparce, and honestly, it doesn't really matter what they throw at this point. I can tank both of their moves here. We are still fully HP. They go for probably a Drill Run, right? But they go for a Rock Slide. I don't know why. I think Rock Slide is worse in that scenario. Drill Run just hits better and is a better energy. Energy per damage move, if I say that correctly. And as you can see, they come in with their Peloscent. 50% once again, and these incinerates plus the razor leaf damage are just gonna be enough there just to take them out. They won't be able to reach any more move, and as you can see, they're in one razor leaf range where if they went for the move, one razor leaf would have went through anyways, and that would have been enough to get the KO. So we face up a bit of an awkward lead as they have aerial ace, we have the answers in the back, so we're just going to hard swap in straight away to that Skeledirge, and they reply with a water type. So far so good. This is how this team is going to work. This is how this team is, the thought process, the idea behind this team, right? So once again, might look a bit terrible, but this is going to be just fine. I bait the first time, and now the second time I'm gonna go for the Shadow Ball, basically to get all shields down. I need to get, well, I don't need to get all shields down. I could have also settled just for the 2-to-1 shields, but I prefer to have all shields down on my opponent, as I think that's just a bit of a better place for me. Here, I might have actually been able to reach another Shadow Ball, but I didn't want to risk it, so I'm just going to let this move go through. Now, I'm actually going to hope that we will be able to farm them all the way down before they reach a Shadow Ball. If this is a Shadow Ball, that's really unfortunate. It is a Shadow Ball. We survive with 1 HP. I'm gonna swap instantly, and we get a nice Incinerate lead against our opponent. Now, let's see, what do they have in the back? They have a Talonflame. So, things are not just over. I'm gonna go for a Flame Charge at first, just to make sure that the next crunch is probably gonna be enough to KO. And after that, I, well, trying to overfarm here. They're 1 away, I think, after this. I wasn't really paying attention too much at the screen right now. Before they reach their next move, they actually decided to swap here, which I expected them to do, and now we can go for a flame charge here as well. I'm gonna go for the full farm down here, hoping that we will leave with enough energy, but unfortunately I should have undercharged it a bit more, because now we are 1 away of the next move. I think they win CP, so we swap and we get the catch, and we win this game as we now have the move loaded. And that's going to be GG, very well played. If you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, because these battles today were insane. I think there will be one more battle if I'm not mistaken, and then after that, that's going to be it for this video. And in this last game, we actually finally pick up a nice lead after all those Dunsparches, and they're gonna save swap into that Archibald, which is a, well, nice save swap obviously, but we have a nice answer for it as well into the with the Skeledirge. Skeledirge obviously has the moveset of Disarming Voice, so we can hit them for super effective damage, but I want to preserve alignment as the Lantern cannot in any scenario come to that, or should be aligned to that LITLEO in the back. They decided to let that move go through, which is fine for me, because now we have the alignment we need, and we can easily go for a Shadow Ball. As you have seen before in this earlier in this video, this is going to do so much damage, just a bit more than 50%, which is insane, and my opponent is just overfarming until we reach actually another move. I went for the Disarming Voice just because it's just gonna do, well, a decent amount of damage where they're probably gonna shield anyways. And I wasn't sure there if I would have gotten to that Shadow Ball. Here they have a Skarmory in the back. We got LITLEO, and this game is just over. We can go for flame charges here, boost our attack even more, and then these Incinerates will just tear apart this Skarmory. They decide to shield up here, which is absolutely fine. We can easily go for the full farm down here. If they go for a Brave Bird or for the Sky Attack bait, I don't really care too much, as they're so low right now where we can easily well, go for the move straight away. I'm not gonna risk a farm down here. I just want to get rid of this Skarmory. They're so low, and look at these Incinerates. It's just insane how much it does after we have boosted our attack, and that's going to be a GG, very well played to my opponent. They go for the Surf. It doesn't even KO just yet. They go for the farm down. They go for yet another move, but honestly, we can tank anything they throw here. I touched my mic for a second there with my finger, but honestly, as I said, there's just nothing they can do here. We take them out, and that's going to be a GG, very well played. So, if you enjoyed these battles today, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment if you got something nice to say, or any questions whatsoever. I'm always there to reply to those things. And without further ado, as you can see right now, I'm almost at the 2400s after we have caught this Carbink. As you can see, 2384, which is the rating right now. Hoping to reach Veteran any day soon, as that will be really nice. And if you enjoy it, I will see you trainers in the next video. Peace.